know how to upload a video to YouTube. We know how to watch a video on YouTube. But there are some features about YouTube that maybe you don't know that'll help you to use it a little bit better when you are teaching, or hey, even if you're just a regular YouTube user and not a teacher, these can be helpful for you as well. Let's go ahead and share my screen. So I wrote a blog post called 10 YouTube Hacks for Teaching. Let's be honest, they're not really hacks. They're just tips to help you use YouTube a little bit better. All right, so let's take a look at these. I have number 1 is to right click to loop, and I've got the directions in here. I'm going to go through each of these and demonstrate them for you. But you can go back to my website, alicekeeler.com, and if you search for 10 YouTube hacks, you're going to be able to find this post and get those directions in there. Okay, so let's start with the first one. I'm going to go to YouTube, and the first one I have is right click to loop. So I've got video. I'm going to right click, choose mute site so that it's not playing here. I'm going to skip this ad, obviously. Okay, so I'm watching the video. I'm going to right click and you should see, yeah, it does come up. I'm going to right click and you should see this menu of options. So I have the option to loop right on there. So when I choose that, it's going to loop this video. Now this video is kind of long, so you're not going to see that it loops. So why are you going to want to use this? And you can even do it in silent mode. Maybe you are demonstrating something that you want students to be able to do, and you're going to project this, and it's when it ends, instead of going to the list of suggested videos, it's going to just replay. So you might want to use that loop feature. Okay, number 2 is picture in picture, and this is a little bit hidden because if I right click, it does give me a mini player, but this mini player is actually stuck on the YouTube page. So you can resize that, but when I go to another tab, no mini player, and I'm not seeing the video. And I want to be able to watch the video and take notes, or watch the video and do some sort of action, or more specifically, I want my students to be able to do that. So let's go back here, and I'm going to right click on my video, and then I'm going to right click again. So now you'll notice that that right click menu is white instead of that gray, and on that I have picture in picture as an option. So now when I put it in picture in picture, can you see this? You can't. Now you can't see it, and that's kind of the point, is it's now floating over my whole computer. It's floating across tabs. That picture in picture is actually taking it out. So you see it's not playing on the YouTube page. It's playing where I can watch it and use other websites. So that was clicking twice. Okay, so let's go back over here. I'm going to close my picture in picture. Okay, transcript. So this is a hidden feature. Maybe you knew this, but if you look at the description for your video, it says more. Now I think this should be more obvious. When I expand it out, you'll see there's more information than just the rest of the description. But I also have the option for, where's the transcript in here? Okay, let's try to get another video. It was there yesterday. Oh my gosh, doing things live is just a guarantee that you're going to look stupid. Okay, we'll pick another video. If I go to, I don't know, I don't want to click it. It's not my real account, so it's not showing me adjusted videos that I use. There should be a button, there it is, it says show transcript on that video. I'm not sure why that other one didn't have it. That was weird. I'm going to try this again. If I do, okay, I'll try this one. More. Yep, that one said show transcript. That was weird that the other one didn't. Okay, so I'm going to click on more. I'm going to do show transcript, and you'll see over here on the right hand side that it's now giving me a line by line of what would really be the closed captions, but instead of just the closed captions, I'm going to read this as the transcript over here so you can see side by side without the captions being on there. Also, this is really helpful if you want to just like copy some of this and use it to make resources. Now the next tip is that you can search in the transcript. So you'll see it says search in video. So when I look up sheets, I can see this is a Google Sheets video, so I can see where those mentions are. So I can search in there, but I can also do a Control F, Sheets, and you can see that it's going to highlight in that transcript so I can find those keywords. And here's what's really cool is when I'm using the transcript, so I'm like, okay, 1 minute, 17 seconds, I'm talking about Sheets as a workbook. If I click in the transcript, it actually jumps me to that point of the video. So this is where it's a lot more useful than just using closed captions. It actually allows me to find the spot so I can scroll through. Like closed captions is great for seeing what's being read on the screen, but I can actually scroll through the transcript and quickly jump to that point in the video where I'm talking about those particular things. So, and then I get that timestamp on there. Speaking of, maybe you don't want the timestamp on there. You can actually come up here to the 3 dots and choose toggle timestamp. So you can turn those off, which makes it nicer when you want to copy and paste. And notice I'm having to manually highlight so I can copy and paste this transcript, but I can copy and paste this transcript into a Google Doc or go and paste it into Gemini so I can ask it to format it more nicely for me, which is something I love to do. Use Gemini for formatting. So anyway, you can toggle those timestamps on and off right in the 3 dots menu. Okay, next one. You can start your video at a specific time. Now when you click on share, you'll notice that the share options, I can copy this, there's a checkbox to start it at a particular time. Now it's going to default to the time that you're at. So that is where transcripts are going to be really helpful. So I'm going to close this out. In the description box where you've expanded out, you're going to show that transcript. You're going to find, this is going to make it a lot easier to find that exact spot that you wanted to share with your students. So I'm going to click on that and then I'm going to pause it. I'm going to pause it. So I'm at 2:56. So now I'm going to share and you'll see when I check the checkbox, it defaults to that spot I'm paused at. So now when I copy this, you'll notice the very end says 176 seconds, that it automatically calculates the time. So with that link that you share with your students is going to load this up at that exact spot. So that you're saying, okay, skip the intro. It's like finding a recipe online where they're given their whole family history. You're like, I just want to know what temperature to set the oven at. Skip past that, get to the part that's important. Share that link with the students. The other way you can do that is you right click on the video and you can copy the video URL at that current time. And it does put that time, all it does is appends the end of the URL to say what time it's starting at. So sometimes I copy it at the current time and then I manually edit the number of seconds so I can share it at different times based on, like, I didn't quite get it right, I can just edit it. I don't have to find that specific spot. Okay, next tip. The next tip is using keyboard shortcuts. Now, do you know you can use the space bar to start and stop your video? I use this all of the time. This actually works in most video editor products, like if I'm using Canva or anything, Camtasia, I'm using video and watching video, the space bar starts and stops it. So that's really helpful. However, if you're on a web page, so let's go back to my web page here, and you use the space bar actually takes you down, moves you down a page on the website. Shift space bar moves you up the page. So that's awesome. So that means when I'm looking at YouTube, looking at it as a web page, maybe the space bar isn't going to give me the action I want. So I do use space bar, but you can also just use K. I don't know why K does this. So K in the space bar does the same thing, that it stops and pauses and restarts your video, but it does work. Okay, Now, if you want to jump ahead in your video, trying to scrub it like, oh, let's watch that again, and just move it back a little bit. Maybe that doesn't feel like a big deal, but you can actually use J and L. J, do you see how it's moving me back 10 seconds? Look at the time that's on here. 0.55. I'm using J. Now I'm at 45. Using J, I'm at 35. Using L, 45, 55, a minute 5, right? You can see I'm going forwards and backwards 10 seconds. Now, if you only want to go forwards and backwards 5 seconds, use the arrow keys. So you can see this time is 2 minutes, 1 minute 55, 2 minutes, 150. I'm using the right and left arrows. To be honest with you, I'm much more likely to use the right and left arrows. Even if I want to do 10 seconds, I can just do it twice, just because the arrow keys are obviously a lot easier to remember. The up and down, I believe, does the volume. So if you use the up arrow, I have this muted so you're not going to notice it. But the up and down arrows should do the volume. All right, now I'm in my video and I'm going to use the period and the comma. So period, watch my face down here, because I'm actually moving this 1 frame at a time. So if you're looking at my face down in the corner, it's subtly moving. Subtly moving, but I am moving. I'm pushing this period button as fast as I can. So you can see that it is changing, but it's just changing 1 frame, 1 frame, 1 frame, 1 frame, 1 frame. There we go. So if you really want to get precise on this, if you're watching a science experiment and you want to see what's happening or making observations in a video, going frame by frame. Now, comma goes backwards, period goes forward, 1 frame at a time. I know you're going to find a lot of great uses for doing advance 1 frame and instead of advancing 5 or 10 seconds. All right, now you can clip it. If you come to the 3 dots menu, it gives you the option to clip. This is not really clipping the video. It's not making a short. What it's going to, oh, I have to create a channel. So this is on a fake account that I have. But what it's going to do when you clip it is you would see that in the sidebar, it gives you a start and end window. Like you can just drag to share just a clip, and then that link directs your students to the section of the video without actually editing it. So you're not really editing the video. You're just like, hey, just watch this one part, and it does that automatically. So that is right here on the 3 dots. So you're looking at a video and you have the option to clip. Apparently you do need to have a YouTube channel. Of course, when I tested this on my account, I do have a YouTube channel, and that worked great. And last but not least is a collaborative playlist. So now when you want to save, let's save, I'm going to save this to a new playlist, and I'm going to make it public. It gives me the option to collaborate. So you see I have that collaborate option on there to allow others who I give permission to collaborate with me to be able to add videos. So say I want to create a collection of videos on, I teach math, so there's a lot of different ways to factor trinomials. In fact, at the high school I used to teach at, there were 20 math teachers, and all 20 of us had a different way that we taught factoring trinomials. So maybe I want to go send the students like, go find a video, what's your favorite method, add it to the playlist to allow other students to say like, oh, I don't get it this way, let me try it another way, but I don't have to curate all of the resources. All right, so those are my 10 tips for YouTube to share with you today. There's so many features and things that you can do with YouTube. That's just 10 of them for you to try out today. Let me know what tips you use when you're using YouTube.